Welcome to Cardboard Conjecture. We're a podcast about board games where we have opinions and conclusions formed on the basis of incomplete information. This episode of Cardboard Conjecture is brought to you by these great Saskatoon businesses: Amazing Stories Comics on 8th Street, Dragon's Den Games on 8th Street, and Breakout Escape Rooms on Faithful Avenue. Hey there, I'm your host Norm, and this is the Cardboard Conjecture podcast. And on this episode, we are going to have a topic, and the topic is new to my collection and games on my radar. And back is the Meeple Dungeon and Ryan from Mistarau Gaming, Rants and Reviews. Cardboard Conjecture is proudly sponsored by Amazing Stories Comics on 8th Street in Saskatoon. They are the winner of the Joe Shuster Award for Best Comic Book Store in Canada, and they were also nominated in 2016 for the U.S. Eisner Spirit of Comics Retailer Award presented at Comic-Con. Amazing Stories' amazing collection of comic books, board games, puzzles, and collectibles can be found in their store or on their new online website. And we're back. This is Cardboard Conjecture, and this being our monthly special episode, we have I think we have a contingency of regulars, and I'd like to introduce everybody before we get going. And from the newly created Mistarau Rants and Reviews, Ryan.
Hey.
And from the Meeple Dungeon, the cutest couple in board gaming, Robb and Anna-Marie.
Hello.
Hello.
Cool. So we had started this, Robb and Anna-Marie, we had started this last month and said, hey, afterwards we said, hey, let's do this as a regular thing. And I think before I finished the sentence, you guys were nodding your heads and going, oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then Ryan, this is a perfect
This feels
time
like home. This feels like home.
Do a quick plug on what you got going on now, man.
My old YouTube channel where it's just like an old man shaking fists at a cloud or something. That's how I intended it. But starting up Mistarau's Gaming Rants and Reviews, and originally I just wanted to just be like just a space like, hey, if something's just been irking me, just like throw down a quick 12-minute rant about whatever's bugging me at the time, and
like the weird cloud that went by.
Yeah.
Don't jump out! Come on!
Damn kids, get off my lawn!
All right,
and then I've been throwing up some reviews and some playthroughs up there on and it's been going well. First month in, got a few subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing good.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
I think the rant that drew me the most was the gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a little bit of
I like it that you picked up on some of my subtleties. Well, without actually saying names, you actually knew who I was talking about.
After I listened to it, I texted Ryan and we kind of back and forth. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I said, hey, it was awesome because you got your point out, and then you riled yourself back up, and then you got your point out again, and then you riled yourself up back again. And he's like, well, yeah, maybe I did. Yeah. I'm like, no, that was awesome. It was like watching Statler and Waldorf on the Muppets.
And it was funny too, because Ian, old co-host of Cardboard Conjecture, Ian, he had messaged me after he watched the video. He's like, will this thing ever just end? Like, you stopped and started like 5 times.
Yeah.
It's like that movie. What movie was that? There it had like 5 different endings. Was that people I think said that about Lord of the Rings, and the one of them where every time it went dark, they thought it was the end. And then it kept going.
And it just kept going.
I like it. I'm glad it kept going.
All right. Well, let's get things going. That's a good segue. Let's get things going. And Robb and Anna-Marie, why don't you guys? You guys are the regulars. This is and because we haven't even introduced it, new to our collection, and then we'll finish off with the games on our radar. And some of us have a smaller radar, some of us have a bulletin board size radar,
But yeah, start us off, you guys.
You go ahead, Anna-Marie.
Sure. So first one new to our collection is one that I know has been played by other people on this podcast right now, but it's by Uwe Rosenberg, and it is New York Zoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a Capstone and Furland. And I heard
Shrink
a lot
is
about
still
this.
on. Nice.
It is. It is new to the collection. But yeah, it's the kind of got that the tile placement, Tetris, polyomino looking feel, and cool little meeples. You got penguins and flamingos and all sorts of little things, and it just you're constructing a park. And I liked the idea of it because you're also oh no, I'm getting mixed up with another one. You're constructing a park, building encounters, introducing new animals, raising their offspring. So just, I don't know, it's just a neat little idea. And Norm talked it up a ton. So that was definitely, Norm keeps talking about this. So every time I would go in to our local game shop and I'd be like, I'd see it and I'm like, and then you talk about it again. I'm like,
The easiest way I say it is, I love patchwork. So it takes that straightforward patchwork mechanism about going around that rondel, and then that button economy, and kind of uses the button economy as the breeding, the species breeding that is part of your board, and how you do this kind of like other lower level of collecting points. So yay, I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love those. I love patchwork as well. I think that game, they just nailed that game. It was so fun. And I like the tiling and the polyomino games. So yeah, I'm super, super excited for this one. So that was my our first new to the collection.
Right on. I still have not played this game.
Yeah, me neither. I'm excited. Yeah.
Norm talked it up a lot, and a lot of people around here have been talking it up a lot. And yeah, it easily was picked up at a sale a couple weeks ago, along with a few other things. So this is one that I feel shame for. So
shame.
This one, yes, this is, you can definitely shake your fist and say shame and ring the bell, shame bell. This one is a deck builder. Some who say this is like the best deck builder. I'm not talking about Dominion, okay? I'm talking about something newer, but still something that I haven't played, but I've played its successors. What I'm talking about is Clank. Yes, from Direwolf and Renegade. The what I've been told, kind of the classic deck builder. And I don't know a whole lot about this game, although I just know that it's highly rated and it's an amazing deck builder, and that it led to the making of Dune Imperium. And so,
which is an awesome
which
game.
Is one of my favorite games of all time. And this one, it was on sale, and I thought, wow, I put this off long enough. So
it's true.
I grabbed Clank. And I don't know a whole ton about it. I know that it's kind of like fantasy themed, where you're sneaking into the Dragon's Keep to steal precious artifacts and delving into loot and all these things. But what you're really doing, I don't know, other than obviously deck building, but I guess deck building to a high degree. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I really like deck building. And like I said, Dune Imperium is one of my favorite games ever. And that came from this. So I expect good things.
Clank.
And you also, go ahead.
Sorry. No. Clank is in my top 10 favorite games of all time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just to add to the accolades of why you should have that game.
And it's still in shrink.
A lot of people say it's a deck builder. I say it's a race game, because there are so many dine and dashers that, right? Because the moment you grab that big major, what do they call it? Artifacts. That's it. I'm like, prizes? No, they're not prizes. I have Clank in space, so the titles are a little different. But yeah, you always have that one person that's gonna be like, I'm gonna grab this cheap one and go. Well, before everybody can go and catch you with the, with your victory points down.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. And I know so many people highly rate this game and talk about it. And yeah, I feel shame that I've never played it.
And you guys are always talking about the legacy game too, that Clank Legacy. And so I'd be curious to get into that after I know I'm going to enjoy this one. So
Yeah.
Well, and you said if you love Dune, then you can kind of reverse engineer it and go, well, let's see where this love affair with Dune started, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, if Dune came from this, I'm all for it. So
It's the same designer.
yeah, exactly. And I'm super stoked. I'm ultra happy to have added it to the collection after it's been I've been looking at it for years and just never pulled the trigger.
Well, there you go.
Here we are. So
Ryan, off of your tower of games acquired this week.
So, jumping into the conversation here is like, well, okay, well, you guys can pick 2 and you can pick 2 and you can pick 2. I'm like, I'm coming with a list of 12.
Ryan's like the Price is Right with the big wheel.
Okay. So the one that I'm going to settle on that's new to the collection was my birthday not too long ago.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, April birthday babies. That's what I'm trying to say. Nailed it. First try. One of the games that I got as a gift from the kids and Jen was That Time You Killed Me by Pandasaurus Games.
Oh, I want to play that.
This game, I had put this on kind of my wish list based on the theme alone, where it is you are 2 rival time travelers and one of you have invented time travel. You just can't remember who was who. And the one person wants to take the credit for it. So you're trying to erase the other person from time, essentially. And how are you going to achieve this? Well, it's just like an abstract chess-like game where you've got 3 boards that represent the past, present, and future. Cool. This has got, now Norm, I'm going to pique your interest here. I got serious Shobu vibes out of this game. When one thing affects, like say, if something happens in the past, it's going to affect the present and it's going to affect the future. And some other things, some mechanisms. I'm not going to do a lot of spoilery things because there are 4 module boxes and they kind of instruct you to kind of go through the modules. Mm-hmm. So we're just working through module 1 and we just started module 2. And I've spoiled it for myself because I couldn't hardly contain myself. But module 4 is ways that you can mix and match the other 3 modules together. Kind of like a bigger game. Yeah. But you had this tutorial system that went on going on. Cool. Anyways, it is so good that awesome. I don't know because I don't own Shabu, but I really, really enjoyed it. But I got the real serious Shabu vibes out of this one with a really quirky theme on top of it that you're just trying to erase another person from history. And be the one who claimed that invented time travel.
Yeah. That game sounds so awesome.
Yeah, we've had our eyes on that one too.
I've heard so many people talking about this too on social media, right? Like you see all these pictures and they talk about that abstract where it's like, don't get this wrong. This is a cool abstract game. Yeah.
It's a pure abstract with a very quirky theme thrown on top of it that actually kind of works very, very well with a lot of the components. Like I guess I can talk about box 1 because that's the first thing people are going to open up. It has some horticulture in it where you can plant a seed in the past, which then in the present would grow into a shrub. And in the future, it grows into a tree.
Yeah.
So one little action actually has such like a butterfly effect across the past, present, and future. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you can start taking away things and you can knock down trees. And
that's giving me a Looper vibe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you plant it just right, you can plant a seed in the past and it'll sprout a tree in the future where your opponent is. And of course your opponent will die because the tree grew right where they were.
Ew. Sounds great.
That sounds like so much fun.
This episode of Cardboard Conjecture is proudly sponsored by Dragon's Den Games, located in the Louis VIII Mall on 8th Street in Saskatoon. Swing by Dragon's Den Games and let Darren, Al, and the awesome staff help you out in search for great board games, role-playing games, miniature systems, and all of the related accessories. Be a part of their gaming communities that have scheduled events in their great gaming area. Dragon's Den Games, Louis VIII Mall on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Ryan, you're gonna be so happy because I bought in Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Legacy campaign expansion. Because I think way back when I bought Marvel Champions, I'd bought the Arkham Horror LCG as well, and the Marvel Champions is so good. I got derailed, and it was only about a month ago that I finally. Shame. I was standing in the box of shame looking at that at Arkham Horror and brought it out, and I have the Lord of the Rings already, and I have Marvel Champions. So those three, I have either side of the spectrum, and that Arkham Horror sits so nicely right in the middle.
That's awesome.
With first of all the theme. I've never been a big Cthulhu kind of fan, but I am a huge fan of horrific Indiana Jones.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was talking to David Thompson when we did our games of late, I said it's take Indiana Jones and an American horror classic, whatever show it is, and put them together, and he's like, yeah. So the theme. Love the theme. I think I enjoy it so much because I'm familiar with the mechanisms that I learned it, but I didn't have to go deep into the learning process because I knew how their system runs, right? I knew how as a drummer would say, I found the pocket pretty fast.
Yeah,
right. It was just like, oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, do this. I got three. Okay, it's their turn. They battle me. All those zones of table play, very familiar. And so much that I didn't even finish the core box campaign until I found myself in our friendly local game store going, that's the one I want.
That's excellent. We are far more shameful because we have played none. Arkham Horror.
Oh, okay. Well, we're done the show now. Sorry.
But yeah, you'll find the DNA across all of the different LCG games is so good that, like you said, if you're Marvel Champions, you'll be able to get into Arkham Horror pretty good.
Yep.
If you're playing Lord of the Rings, you can get into Marvel Champions pretty easily and everything. The DNA, like you said, it's all very familiar with their own little nuances.
And if you play Marvel Champions and you go up to Lord of the Rings, you'll cry because it's nightmarishly hard.
Yeah. We have a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Lord of the Rings to play. Yeah.
And all of Marvel Champions. But Lord of the Rings is punishing. It's punishing.
Yeah.
But that's compelling because it's not a pushover, right? It's like,
no, yeah.
I'll see BGG. I'll see what the deck build. Yeah. And I'm not a deck builder. And that game forced me to go online and figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong? But Arkham Horror, I still have to, now again, I'm just doing solo play. Here's the recommendation coming from Ryan. Right. I'm just doing solo play. I don't think I need the character expansion pack.
So if you want the character expansion pack, some of those characters for the Dunwich Legacy, they pair very well with the Dunwich Legacy campaign.
Of course they do.
Of course they do.
Of course they do.
But then you're also going to get the extra. I believe the Dunwich Legacy actually introduced some really neat cards for the actual deck construction process. Give you some extra bits.
Gonna go online here and just put it in the cart.
just get everything, and then you get like these big, massive totes that I have back here somewhere that just carry just one game.
We should campaign Rubbermaid just to make a LCG tote.
If you like the content we're creating and the podcast episodes we're producing, please leave a happy rating on the podcast platform that you use. This would be such a great gift and would also help others find our podcast when they search for board game podcasts. And if you have the time, check out our new YouTube channel where we have new content every few days. Just search Cardboard Conjecture on YouTube. Thanks, eh?
All right, we're back at the top again.
Okay.
Anna-Marie.
Okay, so this game, originally, it's new to our collection, but I believe it originally came out in 1980. But
Yep.
this is it's a dice checking game, and it's called Cant Stop. And oh my gosh, it is so much fun. So much fun.
We just got it as a late Christmas present from a buddy of ours.
And it's so much fun. You're just it was by Sid Saxon. And I think the original art was by Clemens Franz. And I think originally it was published by Parker Brothers, but I think it's been redone a few times.
A million times.
Yeah. But you're just push your luck. It's all it is. It's a big dice checking, push your luck game.
And it's addicting.
Oh my gosh.
So fun.
You just want to, no, I can't go anymore. It's your turn. And then, no, I want to keep going. I went too far. And then you just want to play again after you finish. It's one of those just,
I'd never heard of it.
Oh,
No.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had never heard of it.
Nice.
neither had I. And it's so
He
awesome.
gave it to us, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna show me how to play this." He's like, "You haven't played this before?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right." And he came over and showed us, and then we played. And it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's
He
so much
came over, said like 5 words, and you guys were like into the
Yeah,
game.
that's basically it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically right.
You're going to get the Ryan math interpretation of this game, and then you're going to get the Norm psychology focus on
Nice.
this game, because I absolutely adore the push your luck on this game, and that adrenaline. It's just like just rolling dice and wine. I'm like, oh man, I might beat
I
you
know.
off the chart
Right?
here, right? Oh yeah,
It's so
good.
true. Because you're like, there's no, like, nothing's going to happen if I don't win. But I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah. What is it? I mean, that's a 7. I got a good chance. What are the odds, Ryan? What are the
Right?
odds?
Yeah, very good to roll 7
could go wrong?
4 dice.
Not when
Come
I'm
on.
throwing them.
Oh gosh,
That's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah.
I pull it
Yeah.
out. I have a couple sets that I have in my classroom that I do when I do the probability
Nice.
section of my classes, and we just pull out a couple boards and we just chuck dice for half an hour or something like that, and then lead the students to why is it shaped that way? Why does 7 have so many slots, but the 2s and the 12s don't have very many slots?
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
And then you teach
Yeah.
them math, and they don't know about it. Ka-ching.
Cha-ching. And I also figure out who has the gambling addictions of the class.
Yes. Right?
Yeah. I gotta walk around a bit. You should sit down. Yeah. Cool. Rob, what do you got?
I've got a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games of all time.
You've got a lot of favorite games of all time.
Yeah. Well,
Just saying.
this is one of my
Eagles'
favorite
greatest
ever.
hits album.
Yeah. And this one is this came out this past Christmas, I believe. And it's the new Horrified, the American Monsters. And this is from Ravensburger. And yeah, the original Horrified is one of my favorite games ever.
Of all time.
Agreed.
And this one just has a whole whack of different monsters. And I just loved what the first game did with all the different asymmetrical versions of all the monsters with different ways to beat them, and like so drastically different ways to beating every monster. And this one will be no different. And I'm excited to see what the different ways to defeat these monsters are. And I just really like these monsters. I liked the campy ones from that one with you know, Frankenstein and Dracula.
The Universal monsters.
The Universal guys. But this one's got all the North American ones, you know, like Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil, the Chupacabra, the Mothman. It just looks really great. And I expect huge things from it because I really was blown away by the first one. And this one was an easy slam dunk. As soon as I saw a copy available, bang, got it.
Did I ever, sorry, totally digression here. Did I ever tell you that Bigfoot was one of like my recurring nightmares as a kid?
You did tell me that actually.
Go on.
It was nothing big. When I think back on it now, it
more.
wasn't even scary, but it was like just a recurring thing. And I don't know. I was never terrified of Bigfoot. It just, that's one of the dreams I'd have.
Yeah. The same thing for me, but it was more at the lake, and it was sort of like me going, and it was basically my uncle without a shirt on. And he was this hairy back thing. I don't know.
I believe that's deep into Rao genetics.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Ew.
The Chittick Lake Sasquatch is actually just Ryan and his dad.
Yeah, it's not unlike me as well here, I'll tell you that. But judging by how unruly this beard is getting. You play that because I love the Universal Monster Horrified, and I'm just curious about this one. So yeah. No, I as soon as I heard this was a thing coming out, I was like, I'm just going to buy that the first day I see it. So a couple of weeks ago, there it was. And haven't played it yet, but I expect it's going to be fantastic because that first one blew my socks off. I didn't expect anything from that first game. And then now I think it might be in my top 10 games, honestly.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Ryan, what's the second coolest thing that you've got lately?
Okay, you're going to start seeing a theme in the types of games because, surprise, I have another abstract game that got added to the collection. And this one came recommended from the Tabletop Bellhop over on the What You've Been Playing Wednesday podcast and his own show. He talks about this one lots. And if you follow him on Twitter, he has been pumping this one up with full of pictures, and it is Grinto by Grand Gamers Guild and designed by Richard Yanier. And if you take a look at pictures of it, it's just a big old board of stacked tiles. Like pretty much look kind of like Mahjong-ish, but they're not like over interconnecting or anything like that. There's just like a big grid of a whole bunch of tiles, whole bunch of different colors on them. And from what I gathered, like I don't know a lot about it yet, but it just seems like, hey, it's got that, what do they call it? The mechanisms, it's eluding me. But anyways, you just pick a tile and you get to activate other tiles on the board depending on what color. And depending on what color it is, tells you what kind of tiles you can take or where you can take tiles from. And it's a big old set collecting game. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get it out there. It's a big old set collecting game. There's a big old stack of cards that kind of tells you how you're going to score. And that's kind of like the variability of the game is, hey, you're trying to collect these types of sets to score these kinds of points and try to do it better than the other people at the table, and then you'll win.
What was that? Nice. What was that Stacking Stones game that just came out recently?
Stacking Stones.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Two-player thing, but I'm sorry I diverted you, but that's what I see here with that one with when you're stacking the different pieces
everything
on
in the middle of the board,
like
the whole board is like pre-laid out and everything's stacked on top of one another, and you kind of just taking things off of these stacks based off of whatever the
colors and symbols are.
It looks really gorgeous. We're probably going to start playing it this weekend, because Jen even said, she's like, ooh, this one intrigues me.
Cool.
So it looked good. I saw the picture that you posted on Twitter, and I thought the box looked really
box looks great. Now, I believe here, I'm just on the BGG page, it says a Grinto is a type of Japanese pagoda of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and the void.
Okay.
And everything like that. So what you're trying, I guess what the theme is you're trying to control all the elements. And whoever does that the best gets victory points.
Nice.
That's a good game does. It's all about the victory points.
Cool. I think this one's the first family game. Daniel has been asking me about Dad, can I do some D&D? Because I have a regular D&D thing, and it kind of dawned on me how I can scaffold him into chucking some dice and doing some role-playing games. And Ryan, I think you have my original copy, but I picked up Andor, the family fantasy game.
Nice.
There we go.
Cool.
And it's that same designers, same concept, same mechanism, but it's sort of like the kind of take on My First Carcassonne or My First Stone Age.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it is the Andor world, and the whole idea of you moving around with this kind of Euro-driven mechanisms, and there's still dice chucking and there's tile flipping, but it is it's I think we're going to have some fun because there's just this idea of going to adventure, and there's very not formatted but scaffold, kind of like, here's your first objective and there's a card, and there's no subjective interpretation. And I mean, if I'm at the table, I'm hey, no, forget that, forget the rules, let's go this way. Yeah. But I can't wait to sit down and have him have a go at this, because the more I can get him involved, the more game time I get.
Right?
Yeah.
It's always fun.
I like it.
Yep.
So, and how your guys' boys, how Robb and Anna-Marie, how old are they? They're pushing
9
teens
and
now,
7.
right? 9 and 7. Okay.
9 and 7. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the older ones, you've got the middle ones, and then Ryan's got the young ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine are 4 and 6.
I'll do.
Yeah.
I'm the top of the pipeline, so I'll start kind of as it goes down. It's like, this is a good family one. You guys will like this one.
Yeah. That's perfect.
And I mean, I've always loved that whole Andor, and it's what is it? Michael Manzel, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael Manzel, who's typically known for doing the art for most of Feld and Rosenberg's games.
Right. Yep.
He did, him and his family, or him and his kids, put together Andor, and then got success with it. And I think they're on 3 different box campaigns. Oh, wow. And I might have to go for the second one, because the first one was so much fun.
Well, he did do the art. I believe it's the brands that are the designers on Andor, the family game.
It is right on the top. Let me have a look here. A game from Inca and Marcus Brand. I love the brands.
Brands are amazing.
I love the brands.
They've designed some of our favorite games of all time.
I'm double convinced that my gut instinct on cardboard here was, hang on.
You made the right choice.
Yay. Are we got enough time for another round, or what?
I can.
Sure.
I like Ryan's like, oh man, we could be here.
I just scratched the surface. I've got content for episodes upon days.
Okay, well, Anna-Marie, let's do another quick round before we get into On the Radar.
Okay. All right. So, we're doing another new before we do On the Radar, or we're going to On the Radar?
No, let's do another new to the collection. Yeah.
Okay. So, again, it's not another. Well, this one's a lot newer than my last one, but new to the collection game. This one is. I'll just start with it. I'm sorry, I can't talk apparently. 7 Wonders Architects. So that one is new to the collection. So what I was trying to say, like 4 things at one time, is that I've played 7 Wonders only a couple, like a handful of times, not very many. But then we've got 7 Wonders Duel, and I played that one a lot, and I really like that one. And
nice.
And then I've heard a lot of good things with 7 Wonders Architects. So we found that one, and
it looks really cool.
Very interested to play. I heard people have said that it's not the same, right? It's a different game. It adds
very different. Yeah.
Adds stuff in, and it's got the different feel, but with still feeling like 7 Wonders. So and I enjoyed the game a lot. So I'm very excited about that. So
and that one you're actually like physically building the wonders, right? I believe. Yeah. You physically putting the thing together.
It's a completely different game as far as what I understand.
What you're doing. Yeah. Have you played it, Ryan?
I haven't played this version. No. I've played tons and tons of 7 Wonders and 7 Wonders Duel, but I have not played this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you know.
I'm intrigued.
Because it looks good. I'm excited for it.
It looks really good. Yeah.
Repost usually has. I like their stuff too.
I saw it laid out on a table at the game shop locally, and it looked really cool. It looked like inside the box it had game trays for everything too. And everything was just like you could just pull it out and like setup was like super minimal.
And
so it looked really good.
I've with the boys, me being 7 and 9, I'm always looking at ages for games. Like what's the recommended age? And this one is 8+. So I figure
that's a sweet spot.
Yeah. Right. And if a lot of what I'm loving about games, not what I'm loving, I love everything about them, but when you have games that are made for 8+, that all ages enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not just a child's game.
Yeah.
Children can play it, but it's just as fun for a group of adults sitting around playing.
You hit it fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that and get the boys playing that one too. Doesn't look like there's a lot of text. It's more just iconography. So that helps too.
And that's the thing that I'm totally digging about this hobby is it's like, who cares if you're an adult? Is this fun?
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Does it make your life fun? Does everybody around you appreciate you more because you're happy because you're having fun?
Yes. Right? You're laughing, enjoying.
Yeah. This sounds like a topic that I ranted about not too long ago.
Yeah.
This episode is supported by the incredible team at Breakout Escape and Board Game Lounge here in Saskatoon. Using industry-leading technology, Breakout Escape rooms are all 100% uniquely designed by the team to ensure their patrons have maximum fun while staying safe. As well, they are a fully licensed board game lounge with over 400 titles to select from to ensure fun for every gamer, new and experienced. Be sure to check them out at breakoutsask.com. At Breakout Escapes and Board Game Lounge, they believe that life is more fun when you play games.
Rob. Yeah. I know you. Let's pull the next one off the top of that Eiffel Tower.
I did.
I love that. That's the one you pulled.
I pulled this one for a particular reason, because earlier on in the show, you remember I was talking about I was feeling shame about never having played Clank, but I also have never played Clank in space.
You bought both.
There you go. I bought both of them at the same time.
Couldn't make up our minds.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, well, they're both here. Whatever. Yeah. We're getting them both.
They were both on sale.
They were.
So
to be fair, they
got a good price on them.
A good deal.
I love that psychological validation. They were on sale.
They were. Of course.
They were on sale. Come on. What are you judging me for?
I'm saving money. I'm not spending less money. I'm saving money.
I'm helping out the economy.
Exactly. But yeah, I guess it's relatively the same game, just in space theme. So
I have the space one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's any differences between it.
And instead of just like one big board, you actually have like little modular boards that can like switch places and around when you need to set up.
Yeah.
You think it's worth having both?
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
And then while you're at it, get the legacy version too.
I think we will.
I think it probably will. And to be honest, I don't get rid of any games anyway, so it's here to stay regardless.
I also justified, and this is real sad, but I also justified like, well, we have 2 kids. So, when we go, like
one gets this, one gets
this, one gets this.
All I'm going to say is you guys should never visit a pet store.
We did that. We made the mistake. We came in with 2 puppies.
Yeah. Bad decision.
Yeah.
We can't just bring one. They'll get lonely.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Right, the other one's going to get lonely.
Recurring theme in this household, apparently.
Right on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
looks
okay.
good.
Okay.
Ryan.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Spin the Price is Right wheel. And what are we going to come up with? Like I could just rapid fire a whole bunch of them. But the other one that I'll talk about that's new to the collection came recommended by the Meeple Dungeon, Robb and Anna-Marie themselves. And just because I listened to their podcast episode, their review of it, and that is Meadow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know, like, other than listening to the podcast, that's the only information I know about the game. And I was sold on it and realized that my wife is probably going to really enjoy this game. The artwork is beyond amazing.
It's so
fantastic.
good.
Yeah. Beyond amazing. It looks so calm and zen.
It is.
Okay.
It's crazy.
And it's just like, what? You're just collecting sets of cards. It's just simply with all this beautiful artwork. You just match up some symbols. I like the action selection mechanism.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the game that is now in your collection, Norm, Quadropolis, where you put the thing and it says count this many spots inwards, and that's what you get.
Yeah, nice.
Everything. I really like that kind of thing. And yeah, Meadow looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait to get that one to the table because
it's great. It's really
stunning.
great.
Yeah.
It's chill.
Is that a Beth Sobel thing? Because
No.
it is. No, it looks like it.
That's why I asked. It's got this warmness to it.
I was fully expecting to say art by Beth Sobel, and I didn't because it's not.
Lady Krychek or something.
Carolina Kiljic. And
there it is.
Tarzana Feiberger.
Yeah,
you did about as good as I did, Ryan.
Published by Rebel Studio.
Yeah. I've never played a game where I've been just totally relaxed the entire game. Like I just was not lost in the cards, but just like I wasn't thinking about winning or losing or whatever. I was just enjoying the gameplay and just, okay, well, you took that one, you rascal. I guess I'll have to go get something else. You
took the butterfly. I guess I'll take this fox over here.
Yeah, he's pretty cute. I'll take him. You know,
it's the okay game. Oh well, okay, I'll go here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I did. Yeah, I've totally enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I hope you like it as much as
too.
we did.
I'm sure with it, and when it says like ages like 10 plus on it, stuff like that. I don't see no text or anything like to be seen here.
Nope.
So this will be something
symbols.
that Regan can also play with us because his association with symbols and symbology and everything that is really strong. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited.
Ryan's training is sent to be the next code breaker.
Symbology and cryptology.
You better learn this by the time you're 7.
You better crack that Rosetta Stone for.
I only have 40 cryptography degrees. You better have 41.
41.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've ventured forth, and I never thought that it'd be possible to do a solo of Concordia. But I went out and I picked up Concordia Solitaria.
Wow!
And it's expansions for 1 or 2 players. It does, like I said, it does a solo. It does a co-op, and right after it's like solo, and then Jeff was telling me about what else it does, and all I heard was womp 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 womp.
Yeah,
because he said the solo.
Solo,
hey, play solo and
solo.
And I'm
solo.
like, solo. Put it in the cart. Put it in the cart. Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just looking at the back here, and I think a lot of the AI driven choices are again dice driven. So if there's a way that the game can get me to lose, it's through dice, because dice love me. And so yeah, I can't wait to give this a try. I've heard a lot of people, and I've seen some YouTube tutorials already, and a lot of people right before they even start going, I really enjoyed this game. So I'm quite happy with that. And I mean, I still have some fond memories of Terminal City with you guys playing. What was it, Venus, for when that came out?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I love Concordia, and I want to see how it works solo. So there you go.
Right on.
I kept seeing that on the pre-orders page.
Did you?
Yeah, but solos, we don't play much solo. So,
Cool. Well, this is a perfect transition into games that are on our radar, and I think all the time games are on our radar before we even know that they're on our radar. We'll go to a store and go, "Hey, I didn't know I needed that." There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick round the table and see if we, how long it takes for us to talk about our wish lists. Anna-Marie, what you got?
Okay. I'm really hoping I didn't talk about this one last time, but you can stop me if I did.
No.
But the first one here that I've got, or the big one here, is Last Light. And that one if any of you watch the Dice Tower, Roy Canaday, who's one of the main guys there, he made this game. He designed it, and he's like, again, from watching Dice Tower, he loves space games. And I always love that when you know that the person who's creating the game, that's their jam. Mm-hmm. He's like, obviously he made a space game because he loves space games. Yep. And it looks awesome. It's got a board that like spins in 2 different places, like rotating planets. And it's
like, I believe there's like a sun in the middle, and then like things are orbiting around the sun in 2 different directions.
Nice.
Planets are moving around.
And it's just, the production value looks really nice. And that's on GameFound.
And it's a 4X.
A 4X that plays in what, like an hour?
An hour. That was you said that's the big pitch. And right away, space, love it. 4X, love it. Inside an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm, it's Gray Fox Games is publishing it. And that's huge on my radar. I'm so excited. It's going to be a while, I think, before it comes, but but it looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I'm also very excited about that game, to be clear. But because we did 100% back that day one. But there's another game here that is like a slam dunk, one of the easiest slam dunks I've ever made in backing a game ever. And that is the new Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies from Red Raven Games. And Ryan Lockett, of course. And it, I don't know what else to say if everyone knows about Sleeping Gods. Mm-hmm. It's a tremendous storytelling or living game that with adventure at every corner, and you're in a sandbox basically, and you kind of create your own adventure. And this one, it should be no different, except for it sounds like you're in a plane and your plane goes through a portal, and then you end up on the other side of this portal, and you got to find your way back somehow. It looks fantastic, and I have no reason to think otherwise, because the original Sleeping Gods was just one of the best narrative games ever made by a long shot. So this should be just as good or better, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of tweaks to it that'll make it, separate it from the original. So, the campaign looks great. I love everything I'm seeing from it. Can't wait to play it. And this was, an easy slam dunk.
I don't have much to throw down on this one, because I haven't played Sleeping Gods, but I have Now or Never right in front of me, and I totally I'm totally bought into Red Raven and their content. But Ryan, you've played Sleeping Gods.
Sleeping Gods was my number 1 game of the year that it came out just the other year, and it was an amazing experience, like Rob said. And if Ryan Lockett continues his trend, his games just keep getting better as they release. And I don't think we've seen these games are amazing and awesome. And I don't think we've seen the best one yet. I think he just keeps getting better.
I think so. And this one, I think, could be better than the original, right? So there's no reason to think it won't be. So
and that guy,
he keeps outdoing himself. And
that guy, he does everything. I mean, seriously,
he does do everything.
Publishes. That's what I mean.
He writes like the dialogue.
That's what I'm saying. Those multi-talented people that it's like, you can design a game, you can draw it, like you got everything down on it. It's like,
he's like the Tom Hanks of board games.
He's the cardboard Da Vinci.
That's right.
Right on. Ryan.
Okay. Well, Robb and Anna-Marie both took my first 2 games. Luckily, I had a list of other things just as backup, because talking with Robb and Anna-Marie, we have similar tastes in games, and being on Jason's Dice and Dragon Kickstarter Excess or Value show, we end up talking about lots of the same things. So I'm going to throw one that's coming right of left field that was announced not too long ago, and that is the new Cosmic Encounter campaign expansion coming from Fantasy Flight Games this summer. And so it's the 7th expansion in the Cosmic Encounter lineup. And they're after it's going to be the biggest one yet. It's introducing a campaign mode with your friends. 30 new aliens. 30.
Wow.
And 12 alternate timeline aliens revising previous editions of already released aliens. So they're kind of like alternate aliens, and adds new space stations, technologies, hazards, and features and new features such as Lux and moons to the game.
Okay.
So big old expansion. It's going to be coming. I believe they're saying it's estimated release of Q3 or summer or Q3 of this year.
That's soon. Right? That's awesome.
Asmodee is already advertising that pre-orders are up for local gift stores can already pre-order it on the Asmodee websites. And and right now it's saying it's advertising at like $45 US.
Oh, awesome.
For
this big $87.95 Canadian.
Yeah, that's right.
So
can this version be just used with just the core box, or do you need the other expansions?
So they have not released that much more information about it yet.
Because we have the core box, but we have nothing else for it. But this sounds very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have the core box, and I think I have only 2 of the other expansions. But I'm assuming that if it's coming with 30 new aliens, you can probably just play with just this box and whatever's within the core box.
I think that would be a tall order to say, here's our campaign, but you have to have the 7 other expansions first.
I highly doubt it. Yeah. You need to own like the 300 other aliens that are part of this game.
Yeah. Some of them are out of print, so you might be out of luck.
Yeah.
But,
Cool.
No,
cool.
Yeah, it sounds great. I didn't see that coming. Campaign for Cosmic Canada. That's cool.
It was announced at the same time, Norm, as the new Flamme Rouge expansion.
Ooh. I saw that. That's kind of on my radar, but this one is even higher up on my radar. And you know what? There might be a correlation that I just talked to, as I said, David Thompson. If you like your Undaunted, I don't know if you guys, Brian, you've yet to play Undaunted, haven't you?
I've actually played it. Rob's got it right there.
There.
So this is David Thompson, and this is called Resist. And I'll just read the little tag and I'll tell you the mechanisms, and then you tell me if you guys are kind of going, whoa, what? So Spain, 1936, General Franco and his troops advanced through the territories of Spain, giving way to a long period of civil war and repression. After the Spanish Civil War, a group of loyalists in the Republic continued the armed struggle, forming resistance groups better known as Maquis. Hidden among the mountains, these men and women risked their lives to defend the ideals of democracy and freedom. There's the big thematic push. Here's the mechanisms: card play conflict, deck building and pool building, hand management, open drafting, push your luck.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in, and I believe it is a solo only game.
Really?
Yeah, one player.
Wow.
So
card drafting,
as he put it, you're like a little bit of DNA of the Undaunted and some of his war game stuff. That Pavlov's House is awesome.
I need that game. I need Pavlov's House.
So I think what drew me in before I even knew who it was and what it was about was the art. It has that like 1930s deco-ish kind of cartoony European cartoon, like Tintin kind of like Hervé kind of thing. I am so compelled to try and find this anywhere to play it because
Is it released right now?
It is released. What are we here? It is released in Europe right now. It's in Spain because I think what he talked to me about was there's a small board game company in Spain that talked to him because they liked his war game stuff, and they said, "Hey, we want you to do a game. You decide," and that's how it kind of spawned out. And I believe this will have to be like an import thing until someone brings it in.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. The Salt and Pepper Games is who put it out. And
interesting.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I am. So not just David Thompson, Trevor Benjamin, Roger Tankersley, and David Thompson are the three designers on this. So
sounds very good.
Yeah.
Sounds very, very good.
Anna-Marie, round 2. We got time for round two. We got time.
Okay. So this one, I have, I didn't see it when it was on like Kickstarter or anything like that, but this has been on the pre-order page of our game store here for a long time. And I have looked at it for a long time. And so it's obviously still hasn't made it in yet. So it's one of those long Kickstarters waiting. I mean, with the recent times, it's called Frostpunk. And it's like, it's you know what I'm talking about, Ryan?
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nodding because you took it off his list. No,
Yeah.
But this one, it's apparently like a rendition of a video game, but it's or based on a video game, but it's minis out the wazoo, like a ton of minis. And it's you're basically a like a leader of a faction who in a post-apocalyptic world, but it's where the world is like frozen. And so you're basically through the different ways of playing, you're deciding what kind of leader you're going to be. Are you going to be like a dictator? Are you going to be somebody who inspires your people? Are you going to be, this? And each of you are playing a different leader of a different faction and trying to build up your crew to be kind of the best and win, obviously. But it's interesting. Like there are so many expansions on it too. I mean, Kickstarter, obviously there's lots of different expansions, but it's just from the first time I saw it, I just keep going back. Every time going back. And I'm like, and I think I saw it at a time where I had like pre-ordered a lot and I was like, I got to put the brakes on, and I just haven't. Yeah. So I keep going back.
Well, yeah. You know why you keep going back to it? You saw who the designer of Frostpunk is.
Adam Kopinski.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Lords of Hellas and Nemesis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah.
But do it.
I know. Probably will. Do
it.
I keep going back every time. And there's a cool player mat. Sold. You got me on the player mat.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to judge the way that sounded, but yeah, it's pretty much a sold. You haven't just, convinced yourself yet.
But I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But I just keep going back, and it's going to be one of those like, okay, well, how many minis do I need if I do get it? Which ones do I get? They have, I think it's some kind of like, well, it's not a dreadnought, but it looks like this gigantic piece of plastic that just like sits on there. Probably one I wouldn't need, or is it, maybe it is integral to the game.
It's the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah, it looks like it. But yeah, that's Frostpunk.
Cool. Rob.
So I have a couple. One I mentioned on our podcast that we recorded yesterday, and I'm not going to spend more than 10 seconds on it, but there's a reprint of The Great Wall coming, and I am all in on that. Mm-hmm. But that's a game from a couple years ago, but that reprint I'm all over it. But however, there's
Awaken Realms, right?
Awaken Realms.
Yeah.
Looks tremendous. And it's just a game that I kick myself forever for not backing, but now I have my second chance. So,
there you go.
We're doing that. But there's another game that I have been seeing online a lot lately, and it's something that's captivated me right from when I saw the box art, and that's called Vagrant Song. And this one comes from designer Matt Carter and publisher Word Miniatures. And this is a strange one. So it's very the artwork is reminiscent of like Steamboat Willie.
Okay.
Old timey Mickey Mouse sort of thing going on.
Yeah, I get what you're going down. Yeah.
Like very old timey, cartoony. But what this is about is you are aboard this train, and it's a cooperative game, and it's
right.
This
one looks so neat.
It's a boss battling game.
Oh, nice.
Where you're trapped on this supernatural ghost train, and as the train is traveling around, you're facing off against ghosts that are lingering on the train, and you have to adjust what you're doing against each boss. Like, I guess each boss is like completely different from the last on how you have to approach and take them on. And I really don't know much more than that, except for it's got like crazy good reviews and it's super highly rated. And
it just sounds neat.
It just looks really good. And I love the artwork, and I just love everything about it. As soon as I saw the box, I was like, I think this looks cool. And then when I heard what's going on, I was all about it, and I haven't seen it available for pre-order anywhere or anything. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I come across this game soon. It's supposed to be out in Canada in 2022. I think it's been in the States since like Christmas, I want to say.
Yeah. But Chad from Dyson Men was talking about it on What You've Been Playing Wednesday.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. Yeah. I was thinking, why is this familiar?
Yeah.
So he has a copy in Saskatoon there? Or where's he from?
He's in Regina. But because I saw his Twitter was all about this game just recently.
Oh, dang. I got to find out where he got it because it looks awesome. It really does. And that's one I'm super looking forward to.
Right on. Ryan.
Okay.
What you got?
Well, Rob stole Great Wall from me. So just kidding. No. Just kidding. I'm going to talk about a little game that's currently on Kickstarter right now. And I don't know anything about the gameplay because I haven't dived into it yet. But other than one of the designers is somebody that I've been paying attention to a lot lately, and that is Fabio Lapignano, who designed a little game called Merv, and Zapotec by Board and Dice. I really enjoy his designs. He's got another one out here. And Nestor
what's it called?
Oh, sorry, it's called Autobahn.
Oh, that's right.
Autobahn by Alley Cat Games. Sorry, I guess I should have actually said the name of the game.
It's okay, Ryan. I'm with you.
You're into it.
And the co-designer is Nestor Mangone, and he was a co-design on Newton Norm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So awesome. So what I know is this is going to be a nice crunchy Euro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is all I gotta know. And looks like there's like lots of nice custom wooden bits if you get in on the Kickstarter campaign. And it looks like it's just kind of like a funky pick up and deliver type game where you're traveling and building out the Autobahn in Germany there. So nice. It looks really, really cool. The theme just sounds really, really cool. And there are this box is going to be heavy of just like wood, cardboard, and cards. And so like
awesome.
That. Yeah, and it's got solo play Norm and
okay. I'm interested now.
Yeah.
Crack the neck. All right, here we go. Let's get the cart internet going.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
cool.
You said Merv, that's the one that you and Norm did on the Friday night games Last Game Standing, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was the one.
You guys made me want to play that game. I have to find it.
It is really good. What puts people off about the game is it's the price of the game that's really put people off on it because it doesn't seem like it's a big box, but it's a big game.
It's a big game.
It's a big game.
It's such a good game.
Yeah. The first round goes by like lickety split. You're like, oh, we're going to be done this game in no time. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, I don't know, just crunch this number and move over there and carry the one.
You get 12 turns, but by the 10th turn, by the 10th round, your turn takes 5 minutes. Cool. My last on my radar is an old kind of like, refocus, and it's only because we played it recently and I absolutely dialed it in and loved it, and that's Gaia Project. I've got the Bloodhound on the scent. Got to find me. I think there's a copy at Amazing Stories that when I find a time, I'm gonna have to go pick it up. But Dave brought it over to Gamers Garage, and we all played that for the first time. And
Really?
A few people played Terra Mystica before, so they were very familiar with how the system functions. And I played Terra Mystica a long time ago when I first got into the hobby. My game group didn't click with it, and so I, moved it on. But I always liked it, but there was never a solo thing, and Gaia Project has a solo mode.
Nice.
And so that's why the hounds release the hounds, because they're gonna go and track this one down for me. So I liked Gaia Project a lot more than Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's way better.
I think you made a good choice there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's because of the success of the solo play on Gaia Project is now we are releasing, Capstone Games is releasing the solo mode for Terra Mystica. They created the same, it's almost the same system for
it would make sense.
Terra Mystica. Yeah. So but now you can play your Terra Mystica solo like you did with Gaia Project.
They just had to make an interface that functioned with the Terra Mystica. But I like I like space. I mean, as much as I love my kind of high adventure D&D stuff. I like my Star Wars space a lot better.
Yeah.
That was a really good round of new to the collection, and
but I got more
on the ride. I've got like a couple
just
more
off the
here.
screen over here. There's like 35 games.
I was looking at 4 of them right now. It's like Brussels, the card game. It's like, I want to talk about that one. Let's if everybody's happy with this, let's come back to the table in 4 weeks' time and talk about, because it's going to take, for me, it's going to take that much. It's going to take a good 3.5 weeks to go and get some games to the collection.
Hey,
Ryan's list is already
last week. I got 4 shipping notifications of 4 Kickstarters that are going to fulfill this week.
That's so exciting. Yeah. That's like the best notification to get.
The biggest one is going to be the Marvel X-Men United.
Have you got notified yet?
No, but it should be coming.
Mine is, I think it's coming like Thursday or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
2 refrigerator boxes.
The ice cream truck is here.
I know.
This is awesome. Well, thank you so much. Before we head out, let's do a quick round around the table and remind everybody where we can find y'all. Ryan, where can we find y'all?
Sure. YouTube is the new channel, Mistarau. It's MISTARAU Gaming, Rants and Reviews.
HTTP.
I haven't hit the 100 subscriber mark yet, so I don't have the fancy, I can't customize the URL. So it's going to be just random letters and numbers.
That was great.
Rants and Reviews. Rants are coming every Sunday. Reviews and playthroughs coming quite sporadically. But and then I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, just at Mistarau Gaming.
That's so thematically tied in, because isn't Sunday the day of rant? It's like
the day of rant.
Have your coffee, sit on the porch. People will come and go and go to church.
Clouds.
Yeah,
get off my lawn. Yep.
Meeple Dungeon.
Hey kids, stop having fun at the park.
Your laughing's too loud. Meeple Dungeon.
Thanks, Norm. It's been Robb and
Anna-Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. You can catch us on Twitter and YouTube and our podcast on all the major podcasting sites, the Meeple Dungeon podcast. And we just dropped an episode yesterday about Mantis Falls, which is a pretty wicked little game. So if you want to hear about that, go check it out.
And we finally got our Apple working.
It's on Apple. It's on everything.
I saw that.
It's on everything.
Subscribe
finally.
Yay! Yes, you get finally put into the queue.
Oh my gosh!
Other Apple podcasts,
and always perfect attendance on the What You've Been Playing Wednesday. And Ryan, you're back on there with Mistarau.
Yeah, we're back on there.
So there you go. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thanks for having us. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome back. Well, it takes us to the end of our episode, and as I always like to do, thank you so much for listening. It is a pleasure to talk about board games, and as I always like to say, I'm your host, Norm, and we'll catch you later. This has been an episode of Cardboard Conjecture, and you can find more about the podcast on Twitter at BCboardgamers, and you can find the podcast on YouTube by searching Cardboard Conjecture, and on Board Game Geek, Guild number 4045. If you wish to contact the podcast, you can email norm@cardboardconjecture.com. Thanks, eh?